Why are holistic habits so important from an emotional health point of view? And what can you do about it if you aren't coping emotionally very well right now, especially during this COVID-19 lockdown? Emotional distress happens many times throughout our lives, so what I'm sharing with you today will always apply. As you watch my video, hit the like button if you can relate to what I'm saying, and leave a comment to let me know if this information is helpful. Stay tuned because later in the video, I'll give you one of my Fran's facts that you won't want to miss. Hello, I'm Fran Graham. Welcome to my channel, Resurgam with Fran, where I help you to make highly effective and proven holistic choices to create healthy habits that empower you to regain control of your life in 5 main areas: mentally, emotionally, physically, behaviorally, and spiritually. Resurgam is a Latin word meaning I shall rise again, and I know that every area of your life that is not thriving right now can thrive by rising again to wholeness. So this week, let's find out how this affects your emotional health. Having a holistic approach to your life means looking at yourself as a whole person made up of separate parts that all make you uniquely who you are. In my last video called Holistic and Healthy Habits That Could Save Your Life, literally, I explained what the term holistic means, why it's important to us, and what each of those 5 main areas are that we all need to pay attention to in order to literally survive. So if you missed it, you'll find it in the link below and you can watch it, but I would advise you to watch it before watching this video, just so that you're following the right track. Right now, so many people feel out of control. People worldwide are being controlled by lockdowns, changes to their lifestyles, income, health, and even safety. Anytime we feel that control has been taken away from us, our emotions change immediately. We can switch from feeling confident, joyful, content, courageous, positive, empowered, and hopeful, to feeling hopeless, helpless, unsafe, afraid, vulnerable, uncertain of what the future holds, worried for our families and our loved ones, angry that some people are doing things we disagree with, and frustrated that no one is listening to us. All of those things are very real right now and play on our emotions, and unless kept in check, those emotions can become so powerful that they cause negative effects in other areas of our lives, such as our minds, our bodies, our spirits, and even our behavior. But how can you keep them in check when the threat appears so real to so many? How can we manage our emotions when so much has changed in our lives overnight? Many of us are grieving the loss of loved ones, the loss of income, the loss of homes and of safety, the loss of food on the table or money for our bills. I get it. It is a reality. And yet there are so many things that we can and do have control over that we must act upon if we're to survive this. By taking action, even in a small way, you can begin to turn emotions from being negative to being positive. Our emotions are so powerful that if we don't do this, they can dominate us and cause us to think irrationally, which leads to things we may regret and doesn't do anyone any good. Unless you pay attention to your emotional reactions and begin to learn how you personally react to certain circumstances, and you monitor yourself properly, you'll never understand when and how and why your emotions affect you the way they do. And it's easier to do this than you think. It's easy to make the holistic choices you need to make in order to create healthy habits in your life that can help you thrive emotionally, rather than collapsing on the floor in a heap, feeling that your world is coming to an end. Now, trust me, for many of you, this is very serious. And yes, your world as you knew it has possibly come to an end, but that's never the end of your story. You can write each page in the book of your life from this moment forward. And you know what? You hold that pen. You and you alone are the only one responsible for what you do with your life in this season. You are responsible for your emotions, your choices. It's up to you and you alone to get yourself up, dust yourself off, and have your Resurgam moment of rising again to face another day. Tomorrow will never be the same as today, and that's not all bad. And you know what? When you make that choice to rise up, you will feel empowered. That empowerment will conjure up an inner strength, an inner resolve not to give up. One of the most powerful ways that you can change your emotions is to change your perspective. But first, I want you to slow down enough to assess your emotions. Acknowledge how you're feeling, because emotions aren't to be ignored. So I'm not saying toughen up and push through no matter what. On the contrary, that can be dangerous. Emotions are very real, but they can be out of balance. So once you've acknowledged them, I want to encourage you to find hope. With hope, you can find ways to overcome whatever you're challenged by right now. When we have even a small glimmer of hope, it can propel you to action, help you regain perspective, focus, and move forward. How can you do that? Start small. Find one small thing in your life that you can change. It may be deciding to go for a walk every day. Being out in the fresh air always makes us feel better and more hopeful. Take time to smell the roses. Make that phone call to the friend you've been meaning to speak to for a long time. Find somebody worse off than you and do something kind for them maybe. For example, you're connecting with me online right now, but there are people in your community, elderly people possibly even in your street, who don't understand how to use YouTube. They don't understand how to use the internet. They are more isolated than you can even imagine. So go and visit them, make them a cup of tea or coffee and sit 6 feet away from them just to be with them. You do have a choice, so choose life. Choose to rise up. You will notice after time that those small choices become habits and your emotions will begin to thrive. Not overnight, but over time. And for those of you who are grieving right now, I want to tell you that it's okay to feel the grief. It is a real emotion and should not be ignored, but it cuts so deep that you may feel as if you'll never rise up again. But I promise you, you can, and I believe you will. It just takes time. You may feel as if you've lost everything, but be kind to yourself and breathe. Please give yourself permission to rest, to cry when you need to, even to laugh when you want to, and to love again. Be patient with yourself. You too will have your Resurgam moment. Now, before I share Fran's fact for today, please join me in the rest of this series by clicking the subscribe button and hit the notification bell on the top right-hand side of your page so that you're notified every time a new video comes out. Remember to ask me any questions in the comments below and tell me how you want to rise again in your life. Now, here's your Fran's fact for today. You and only you are responsible for your emotional health. If you really feel that you can't change your emotions on your own, that's okay. Just ask for help. There is no shame in asking for help if you need it. Please call a friend, a spiritual leader, a counselor, even a crisis hotline, whatever you need, because you are never alone. I know that many of you are physically isolated right now, so please call somebody and let them know that you need help if that's what you need. If all else fails, let me know by leaving a comment below. If you're not rising up and if you're not thriving and being the best you can be and being the healthiest you can be, you're not giving yourself what you deserve. And you know what? You deserve the best. Remember, you are valuable. So I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Resurgam.